Hoping to get it to, and it's 3rd and short. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Lucky 56. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down. Murray. He's going to let this one go deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Gone. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone.
To throw again. Murray. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Gone!
On third down, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Jackson now to throw on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Down to first carry for Chase Edmonds. And past the 30 down to about the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Cordero Patterson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
So we got 3 of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And no pitch there, And no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
This time, Jackson will throw it. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
No, check. Patriot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Here we go now. Blue, line it.
To throw on 3rd down. Murray finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. This is Logan. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And it's 15-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you've got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break that initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Ingram. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Leopard!
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, You're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On 1st and 10, Murray. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gone!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down, being chased out left. And incomplete on the deep ball. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle one into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. Cordero Patterson. Touchdown, Cardinals. Cordero Patterson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Now it's Jackson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Chandler Jones able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson from the shotgun. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Flush to his right. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Everyone's got 4 down. Gun!
Here's Jackson on 3rd down. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on fourth. Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. And it is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So out now come the Cardinals. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on down's the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll go on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on third down, Murray. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Murray now. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cards continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Out to his left. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them. And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
They go play action now. Jackson, he'll buy some time right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle here to Brown. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Jackson. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Jordan Hicks in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Lucky 56.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown.
You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Space to maneuver at the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. That is caught inside the 5. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Jackson, the quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. Jackson will throw again. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Tucker with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.